What's going on, everyone? I'm Chris Baker.
And I'm Ty Backer.
Welcome to episode 153 of Behind the Toolbelt with TC Backer Construction. TC
Backer. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters, solar. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters, solar. TC Backer, TC Backer.
Behind the Toolbelt is sponsored by Lead Scout. Find out more at leadscoutapp.com.
TC Backer, TC Backer.
Boom. TC Backer family, episode 153. You know, I'm sorry for that stumble when I was doing the intro there. I've done this. This is now my 153rd time of doing that. And for some reason, 153 was just tough to say.
It was. It feels like Groundhog Day. Like 152 and 153.
Yeah.
Like, where's 160 at? Jesus, come on already.
We were just talking about that before we started the show. It's like, dude, we've been talking about the early 150s for, I feel like, 3 months now. Like we're like stuck in this repetitive cycle where everything outside of the studio is moving 100 miles an hour. But like inside the studio, it's like, we've been on episode 152 and 153 for like 6 months.
And
so
we're stuck in time here. And it's crazy too, because I feel like we haven't done like a normal episode for a minute, because we were at RoofCon.
Yeah.
And then Tino's came to the studio, which is how we used to do it, but now it's kind of set up where we Zoom people in, and then we were at the 21 Turkey.
Yeah, that was kind of, I mean, it was cool. It was cool, but it was different, man.
Mm-hmm.
How different that is, because we don't really get people to come up here to Pennsylvania and hop in the studio with us.
We should make people start doing that.
I know, right? You want to be on the show, you got to fly here.
Yeah, get your ass
or
up
drive.
Freeze your ass off with us. Notice we have hooded sweatshirts on in the studio.
I know, right? You think we're going to make it to our third year of Behind the Toolbelt before
we get heat in here?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Can't afford that shit, bro.
I know, right?
I like microphones and wires and shit too much. But anyhow.
I'm super jealous of your guys' cold weather, by the way. Super jealous.
I'm sure
Said
you are.
No one ever.
Yeah, especially, like out here, it's, beach weather. It's like perfect time, no sweatshirts.
Yeah,
it's miserable, man. Don't ever come
Poor
here.
Josh. Poor Josh.
Yeah, I feel so
For
bad.
me, it's miserable out here, man. It's, what are you going to do?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So anyways, TC Backer family, we have Josh from iRoofing. I'm sorry.
iRoofing. Yeah.
Yes, iRoofing. And what really stood out to me, Josh, I'm just going to tell you, I distinctly remember your booth from RoofCon 2 years ago. The dinosaur stickers and the dinosaur shirts. I was so pissed that I didn't get a dinosaur shirt, but I was able to secure a dinosaur sticker because I just thought it was the coolest shit. I was like, dude, this is dope.
Yeah. For 2 years, we've had one in our shop. That's one of the big ones. My son has one on his refrigerator. I have two on my desk.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you guys some as well. I mean, I just ordered like a whole lot more shirts to come up like this next year. So
that's dope, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I love dinosaurs. I mean, I even got my little mood dinosaur here with me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Cool.
That is cool.
You can't trust people if they don't like dinosaurs.
Well, why the dinosaur?
Why the dinosaur?
Yeah.
So I mean, the original thing is like, hey, don't go extinct like the dinosaurs. You always got to constantly evolve. But I also look at it like another thing, and this is just more or less like my way. Like I love it that it's kind of like our mascot now, right? And you think about T-Rexes, they're like ferocious, and that's kind of like the people that I like to actually like bring in is like as far as like the sales team and stuff, because it's been an all-in-one sales tool. I mean, you can go out there, you can measure roof, you can put together your photos, you can put together your simulator. And so, I mean, if somebody's out there and they have to like leave and come back, you better watch out for somebody that's as ferocious as I am, or some of my clients that are on there, because they're going to close the deal like when you leave. So, I like the whole aspect of it is like, they're ready to attack. And it's just that vicious nature of what T-Rexes actually are.
I like that.
I like
man.
that. I do. I like that. I like that culture. I like that mindset that, you want hungry, people on your team that are motivated, and that's hard to find. And it's hard to keep that full steam ahead and having that as your logo. And as long as everyone understands what that means,
Right.
I could see how that point could get across. And I would have never put those two connections together
Nope.
until you just told us what that is. But if you were hiring me and if you explain that to me and the energy that you have, that's contagious.
All
right. So the visual, your attitude, the rest of the team going full steam ahead, kicking ass, taking names. So speaking of kicking ass and taking names, what is iRoofing?
So iRoofing is an all-in-one sales tool for roofing professionals. We've been around since 2012. We were looking at like different ways that we can actually come up with, how is it that we can actually provide better service to the customer? I mean, to the roofing professionals at the end of the day. And so it's been evolving. I mean, started out as the roof visualizer, and that's kind of like evolved. And then we added in like the measurement tool, and we have, the estimator tool, and we have, so many different things. You can even order materials from your distributor now, all through the application. And it's all about, when you're there on site, you want to make sure that you can overcome all those different objections. You want to spend more time with the homeowner. And like, I have guys out there that are emailing out quotes, but, for me personally, if I want to be there, I want to feel like what they're feeling when they, when they get that price, and that's why, like, it helps sales guys overcomes a lot of different objections on there as well. Even like the sales presentation piece, it's just a matter of like going from, end to end, and how is it that they can, overcome those objections before they actually even become present. That's what I personally love. And that, like, and I tell people this all the time, like, there's, the thing I love most about iRoofing is just the ability to manipulate to get whatever you want when you need it on the spot without having to wait. And that is like the most powerful tool that I think that any sales professional out there can use or can actually utilize.
I love that.
Absolutely. I mean, we live in an Amazon world, man. It's very, very important to be able to appease people as quickly as possible, because that's usually the selling point, man. People are impatient, and now more than ever, people are just so impatient. And in our industry, with all the things that we can't control, to be able to bring those kinds of things to the table immediately on the things you can control. Right. Outside of like material delays and weather and all that kind of stuff for exterior contractors. Right. That's really vital to be able to take that and run with it, man.
Yeah.
There's no material delays. What are you talking about?
Right. Not this year, anyhow. Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
No, but it sounds like it streamlines things for your sales team or whoever sales team that might use, your product to be able to go. It's like a one-stop shop, right? So if they're with a homeowner, there's no confusion. There's no forgetting anything. It sounds like it's pretty much like 3 simple, easy steps, right? It's like the catalog. So if they use JF shingles, they go into your app. Is it an app?
Yeah, correct. So, I mean, we have it on the computer version, we have it on the phone version, but I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I've done door to door before, And the last thing I want is to be lugging around a laptop. The last thing I want to be is showing off my phone, because, you know, who knows, maybe, you know, your wife or ex-girlfriend or something all of a sudden decided to send a video or something when you're trying to show homeowners, hey, like, this is what it could look like, right? And so it just allows you to be a lot more professional. But then not only that, but it's a bigger screen. So it's, you know, the iPad for me is the best version, because you get everything, all the tools, and that's what it was originally designed on. You know, like I said, I mean, you know, you even have like attachments for like your drones now with the iPad attachment. And that, like, once you fly it with your iPad, like, you'll never, like, I'll never fly it with my phone again unless I like absolutely have to.
That's awesome. And does it integrate with most CRMs?
So as of right now, we're actually getting ready to open up our API. So we're going to start integrating with a lot of the different CRMs that are out there. Because look, man, like, you know, I come from a technology background and as well as construction. And you know, the thing is you know, just to be able to make sure that you can integrate and play with others well. You know, if you don't play with others well, I mean, it's you know, just a matter of time until you're kind of like phased out, or you're going to have like just that one little section. So a lot of that is actually coming in that we're really working hard on, and we have a couple different partners already planned and picked out, ready to go.
Nice, very cool. So would you say it's a is it an estimating software?
Correct. So
Like
it's
I have no idea what it is.
right. So, you know, like once you actually get your measurements, so let's like just like role play here for a sec.
Mhm.
So let's pretend that you're out and you're out at you're getting lunch, you know, and all of a sudden Mrs. Jones, you know, calls in, and she, you know, Miss Jones is, you know, wanting to get her, like, you know, roof repaired and everything else. And so, you know, you go ahead and you can capture that information, and then you're going to be able to pull up her address, and then you can actually go ahead and sketch it out right there, right on the spot. And you can say, you know what, Mr. Jones, you know, I'm just taking a look at your roof right now. I'd love to come over there, you know, and to give you an estimate and take a look at everything. Okay. So
you pull that up right in your app. You pull her address and get her information right in your app.
Correct. So then, like, I mean, just a matter of sketching it out. And to be honest, I mean, you know, some people are like, oh man, I don't want to do it. But to be honest, like, the average roof can typically take about like 3, maybe 8 minutes for like a super complicated one. And, you know, like, when it comes for that portion of it, is like, dude, it's 3 minutes, you know, or it's 5 minutes. Like, you know, do it, go into the bathroom, or like do it, whatever, you know, you got to find like your area that you just feel that you could focus and you can get it done. You can make it look nice. But then when you get out to the location, we even have a tool, and it's, you know, because I love old school stuff. So it's all about like measuring twice, cut once. And you can actually measure one portion of it, enter it in there, and it will automatically recalculate everything, giving you that precise measurement that you're looking for, right? Nice. And so it's a great tool to actually utilize. But then, so like, once you're actually driving over there, right? You know, now you have that measurement, it's all ready to go. Now, technically, you can do like your street view, so you can understand a little bit about the house, what it's going to look like. You can even take pictures, you know, from Google Street View. You can look it up, you know, you know, just type in their address if there's a street view. You know, then you can even put together like a roof visualizer. And the roof visualizer is by far like our coolest tool. And, you know, like, after the summer, I traveled all over the United States, and, you know, homeowners love it. And it's so underutilized. Because, like, you know, because if you can visualize, you know, you can materialize, right? But you can put that all together, or you can even do it like right there on the spot. But, you know, now once you're actually back at, you know, you're in front of that customer's house, you have pretty much everything all ready to go. You know, in our catalogs, you can actually specify which manufacturer that you want. So, because you don't want like if you're not like using one manufacturer, you don't want to all of a sudden you know, have that option available, because then they're going to want to take a look at it, right? So not only that, but it comes down to profiles too. So let's say, for example, that you are going to be utilizing GAF, you know, so you want to like go down to the Timberline HD, right, of the HDZs. And then you can actually go down based upon that profile, but then you can even cut out the different colors that aren't even available anymore, you know, because you don't want her to get sold on that one color that you're not able to get, or it's backward, you know. But then now you have all that information, it's all ready to go. You know, obviously, like, I always tell my guys, like, look, like, although you need, like, the tool's designed to like not get up on the roof, But for me, I'm old school, so you still got to kind of like get up there, take a look at it, at least find out what's going on, because you could be walking on the deck and then like on the deck and on the roof, and then notice that they're sagging. So, but I mean, you don't have to like get down and like measure it out, but just having that like tool on there, or even like utilize the drone, take that drone up there, fly it up there, and the drone technology is amazing these days. Even on like the new Mavic 3 that just came out, it's got a 49 megapixel camera, so it's got like that extra zoom. You can fly like within like a foot of the actual roof. So you can really like focus in on, like what's going on with that particular area, capture that, bring it into the application. So you have this little photo section. But then you go in and then you show the homeowner like, hey, look, this is what's going on with the roof. You can go through all the different photos, and then you can either give her like a good, better, best right there, right on the spot as well. And then they can make a decision.
Wow.
Yeah. Sounds really cool, man.
Yeah, it is really cool. Now, about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I ran into you or your team. I don't know if it was IRE or When the Storm, Jana and I, and that's where we ended up with a bunch of our stickers and T-shirts and stuff like that. And I ripped my closet apart tonight looking for an iRoof T-shirt, just so you know that. And I couldn't find it for the life of me. I was kicking myself in the ass for not being able to find it. But I see it every time I'm in my closet. But for whatever reason tonight, I couldn't find it. But so you've been around for a while. I mean, how long have you been around doing this now?
Yeah, so I mean, iRoofing has actually been around since 2012. So we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary this month, actually. And so I mean, and that just goes to show, like, hey, look, we've been around, we're proven, we're tested. We got guys that are out there that are utilizing it, and using it within like the thousands. So. And so that's one of the cool things about it. But me personally, I've been with them almost 4 years. So it's definitely been a journey, and I'm excited to see where we're heading next.
Okay. So are you from originally like the roofing industry? Like, has that been your background? I heard you say like you have some tech background, but give us some backstory here a little bit.
So, like my grandpa owned an ornamental iron business, growing up. And so, as I was growing up, I was like involved on that, like at an early age. So that and like construction. And then I had like leaders that were in the general contracting side. So, I was even like, running 5 different crews, before I graduated high school. And it's just because like I was very interested in like all the different aspects and what you can do. But I was like, what? But, when I got to 18, I was like, I want to move on to different things. And so, I started I wanted to be a smoke jumper. And so, I don't know if you guys know what that is.
I think so. Explain it to us.
So smoke jumpers where you actually jump out of airplanes into the middle of the forest fires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm an adrenaline junkie and everything else, and I love that stuff. So that was what I wanted to do. And then before I was actually going through the whole process, like I blew out my knee, and then they're like, "Hey, well, you can no longer be a smoke jumper." So kind of like tried to pull me back over to the construction side. I'm like, "No, I want to get out of the construction," But at the end of the day, that's like what you're passionate about.
Right.
And, I love working with my hands. I love building, but I moved down to Brazil, and then I came back from Brazil because my daughter's mom is a Brazilian. Her mom was going through cancer, and we moved down there for a little bit, and then came back up. And one of my friends offered me, like, he's like, "Hey, there's this little startup company. They're like a partner of Salesforce," and I was like, "Okay, who's Salesforce?" Like, I have no idea. Like, like who are I had no idea about like big data or like marketing automations or like what is your sales process. It's just more or less. So I was with them, for a little while, and I got to learn about that whole process. Where why is it so important to not be stuck in this swivel chair activities? How is it that you can manage big data? And it's just then I came back over, and then we moved to Florida, and got back into construction, and started working with a partner out here, and he ended up like taking off like with a lot of the money that we had. And I was like, I was like stuck there, and I was like, bro, like what just happened to me? Still in disbelief. And then what, like the Hurricane Irma actually came through. And Hurricane Irma was not bad so much, but I live in an area where it is like we always get the electricity first because we're right on the grid of the police, some of the different like politicians, the hospital and stuff. And so like the hurricane passed, but then I got an electrical surge and it burned down like my whole place. And so then it was just like crap, like what am I going to do? So I started getting back into like concrete form, like the rough carpentry and stuff. And then I was like, man, I know I can do more than just this with like my mind and my skills. And then I found iRoofing, and then I was like, man, like I love this because it's like this perfect blend of like technology and construction, and it can help people out because I love helping people out at the end of the day. And then it's just this whole thing that I love, like the combination between the two.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Speaking of helping people out, I've noticed over the past 2 storms in Florida, man, like you're really out there, you and your family and your daughter are out there really, really, lending a hand to people, whether it be food, water, and things like that. Where do you think that nurturing, caring comes from? Give us a little bit of backstory on why you feel compelled to go out and want to help people.
Well, my parents and like my grandparents, I mean, definitely, my grandparents, they pass that down, and I'm an Eagle Scout. I don't know if you guys know what that is, Boy Scouts. And then you like get like your Eagle Scout award. And it's always about like, community service. And it's always about like, kind of like helping people out and trying to do what you can to help each other out. And, and I feel like in today's world, because we live in such this instant gratification world, and that we've kind of forgotten that portion of it. And it really takes that portion to kind of bring and better your lives all together. And that's why, like I love to try to get my daughters involved in it as well, as just because I'm trying to create, like recreate what was created before, but try to create that movement back where, we even though we have different views, regardless of what they are, it's just, we're people and we need to, come together. We need to advance and like move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you imagine how boring the world would be if everyone just thought and acted the exact same way? You know what I mean? If everyone's opinions were just the exact same, that would be so boring, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's what makes the world great. It's just everyone's different perspective and opinions, and
of course, conflict, drama, all that good stuff. But but I like that, and I like how how you bring your daughter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's involved like that, and I was hoping that this topic that would be a great segue into into another topic like of giving back and the empathy and how fucked up the world is today, but there's still humanity out there, right?
Yeah.
And not to go out in the weeds too far on this topic, because I'm sure all 3 of us have our own opinions and we could really go down that rabbit hole, but but to watch you do that with your daughter and it inspired me to because we're all about giving back to the community and helping other people out, and for one reason or another is my motive to do it. And I was just curious to know, what was your motive? If your background story was that you lived in a van down by the river at one point in time in your life, because we all have war stories, we all have bones in the closet and things like that, and I know that I have kicked the shit out of myself over the years, and have had the shit kicked out of me by numerous others. And, I just feel the need to want to give back and be a better person and try to be the best version of myself on a daily basis. And there's certain things that I try to practice, in the mornings and in the evenings and stuff like that. And I've gotten into this habit where my first thought in the morning is to thank God. And by no means am I a Bible bumper. So hopefully no one's watching this right now thinking, Christ, I went to, religion now. But I just, for whatever reason, man, there's just, we as entrepreneurs or leaders or managers or whatever, we suffer from anxiety and stress and pressure and things like that. And being in the position and high performing position that I am in, and the example that I try to set, I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. Right. So for whatever reason, we've been running around, but I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety or whatever. It could be too much Red Bull, too much coffee, not sleeping right and stuff like that. But I've over the past 2 weeks, I've trained myself for my first thought in the morning is just to thank God for whatever reason. Now because I practiced it, but is to thank God, basically. So, okay, I'm breathing and I just put my feet on the floor and it's like, thank you for another day. Thank you for allowing me to open my eyes and be able to get up and go do what I have to do today. So I've recently started to try that and I feel like it's working. And, it's just funny how you get to a certain point, things worked, 6 months ago, working out, dieting and doing certain things, but it's like you kind of hit like this plateau and it's like it just doesn't seem like it's working anymore. And I needed to search out something else. And I'm not saying I'm searching out God and I'm going on this Bible bumping mission right now, but we do all of these things and it's like sometimes I still have that God-shaped void in there that I can't fill sometimes, I guess. Anyhow, I'm sorry.
No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I've definitely had like those times in my life, like when, say for example, when my place burned down,
Mhm.
like I was like stuck in this like feeling of like, like homelessness and like, because I literally lost everything. Not only did my partner just leave me and, and there was nothing like left, like what was I going to do? And if it wasn't for like those people in my life, like my parents and like my friends, like, it was definitely like a traumatizing experience. And, it's, like little situations like that. It's like, you can, you kind of like forget about it sometimes and you just gotta like always remember, like, why is it that, some people are so willing to, put themselves in the line. And it's just, more or less like they understand like those feelings sometimes. And, they know like where you've been through and they know that there's better out there. And, your belief in God, I mean, that's awesome. Like I have a strong belief in God, but it's not necessarily tied to any religious belief. Because I feel like I have my own spiritual, like, like connection with God in my own sense. And I think that everybody has like their own God, like one way or another, like whoever he is, you need to have some type of that connection, to be able to have like, to be able to feel like you can give back almost, or, even if there isn't, there's always something or someone out there that helps kind of like brings you in, gives you those chills. And I can think back several times in my life where I'm just like, oh my God, like, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for providing me like and just so you know, I actually have two daughters. So, I bring both of them with me, Victoria, who is my 13-year-old, and Isadora, who is my 11-year-old, who just, it was her birthday yesterday.
Happy
Nice.
birthday.
Yeah. So they're amazing. And, like, they're like really like like I want so much for them and I see so much in them that like I want them to like know and experience and love people like I love people. And I think that some of the people that I know, they can feel that from me. And everyone gets busy and everything else like that. I'm always there to try to like better some portion, or whatever I can do to help them out. That's what I try to do. And I mean, I'm not perfect and I know nobody is, but, it's, they're, them and my parents definitely are like my biggest, like saving grace and like why I have like such a compelling nature,
Mhm.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, that is good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So sorry to take us down that God hole there for a second. I just kind of felt like sharing where I was a little bit there for whatever reason. After if you don't know, we did this turkey drive thing that we do every year, and we fed over, I don't know, we served over 800 plates. Whether we
Awesome.
fed 500 people, 700 people, I don't even know.
Mhm.
But it like burnt me out. You know what I mean? Like Monday, I woke up, thought, I was going to feel great, got a little bit of rest on Saturday and Sunday, and got back on it Monday and was like, dude, I just feel like shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's almost like I need to go on a trip to Scottsdale, Arizona one day for a minute.
You
And
still should.
yeah. Yeah. And I probably should, but I feel like, God, is that just going to add insult to injury with my anxiety that I'm feeling here lately? But
Yeah.
anyhow, man, that's enough of that horse shit.
Yeah, well, and but like, Ty, here's one thing too, and I mean, and this happens. I mean, like during Hurricane Irma, I mean, TJ, he's one perfect example. I mean, I love the guy, and he just felt like that overcome stress. And, I started feeling that too. It's just because it's just, you can almost like really, like when you're really in like the mood of like giving and trying to help out, like, you put yourself in like that situation and you can really like feel like what those people are feeling. And it really kind of, you got to kind of, you got to recognize it, and you need to kind of separate the two sometimes, because it can be, very exhausting, having like so many different mixed emotions and feelings, and I feel that. So, I commend you totally on, and I understand what you're going through. So, I mean, if you ever need someone, feel free to give me a call, man. I've been down that road.
Right on. No, it's getting good. It's getting gooder and gooder. Christmas, and I actually started my Christmas shopping the other day, which is very usual for me to start my and that's the thing. This is what it's done for me, is like I'm actually forcing myself once again out of my comfort zone, right? Like I know that I have to do certain things, but don't want to, because my lack of better terms is my anxiety is like not necessarily getting the best of me because I'm not allowing it to, but it's like one of those things that we all feel sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, do I fight or do I flight? Right. So I chose to stay here and fight. And it's like, here I'm walking through this, and it's the only thing that I know that I can do. And what I've started doing was being a little more proactive. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I did some of my Christmas shopping. I'm not done yet, but only because I know that I'm leaving soon, and I already got my flight and my hotel booked for Salt Lake City. I didn't.
Wow.
Right?
Dude, that's over a month away, dog.
No, it's actually in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, still close enough,
right,
bro.
Right.
I'm proud of you, bro.
But I probably waited too soon, because I can't even get a flight without doing like 3 layovers. I got to fly to Vegas, drive 2.5 hours to not Salt Lake, but Central Utah. Supposedly, it's like the most beautiful drive in the country from Vegas to St. George, Utah.
Oh, wow.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
So, are you actually flying from St. George then?
No, I'm driving. I'm going to drive to St. George from Vegas.
Right, but I mean, from St. George to Salt Lake City.
No, I was going to have to fly from either drive to Philly to Salt Lake to St. George.
Gotcha.
Is what I was going to have to do. And I didn't want to drive 2.5 hours to Philly to do a layover. And same thing in Baltimore. Baltimore was just as bad, but the flight back, I think, was better. Whichever one it was, but I chose to just fly to Vegas and drive 2.5 hours. That way I got a car the entire week and stuff like that. And I can.
So the conference itself is in St. George, or
it's Central Utah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't even.
I love Utah, by the way. Like, I was actually born in Logan, Utah. And then my dad was going to school at Utah State.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Very nice. I know One Industries in Salt Lake.
Gotcha.
I think that's why I keep saying Salt Lake.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thut you meant when you said about going to Salt Lake. And I was like, that's because that is over a month away.
Shit's already starting to overwhelm me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as soon as we leave there, so what is it? D2D, okay, is the 17th through the 19th. One Industry starts the 19th to whatever, and then SRC is the 29th to the 31st.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, and that's all in January. So
and there's another one right in there too. I'm trying to remember the actual name of it. But yeah, I mean, it's the conferences. I mean, it's great. I love conferences, and I believe that everyone should go to as many as they possibly can. But problem with it is sometimes it's just like, which ones can you actually go to on a regular basis? Because then, like, all of a sudden you're going to be going to all of them, and then you're like,
yeah,
I still got to work.
I know,
right?
Yes, exactly. Unless that's your job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is what I'd love to do, is make that my job.
I mean, it can be. It's possible. It's possible.
Work harder so I can do that.
I know some people that could get it done, bro.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, no, it's amazing, and it's every place that has like different conferences, different areas, it just allows you to like connect with other people that you're not always able to connect with. That's why I took like my road trip this summer, where I covered over 11,000 miles, is just, it's having that like grassroots and like meeting people like one-on-one. Like people were like, man, I can't believe that you're actually here type thing. And it's like, yeah, man, like, I can't, I love learning. I love, understanding what people are doing. What can I do to help them out? And, and trust me, like if they're like, not a fit for like iRoofing, for example, I'm not going to sit around and beat the bush and say, oh yeah, you could do it. You could do it. Man, it's like, I'll make sure that there's several great companies out there that they could utilize. It's just, there's so many people out there that don't know, but they don't know because they're not exposed to it. They're out there, they're working, they're out there working, from, early in the morning till late at night. So a lot of times they don't even get a chance to, have Facebook, or if they have a Facebook, they've never even logged in, maybe like twice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy to me that think that, because I wish I could do that. Just like totally disconnect from Facebook. I know a guy, Justin, who works for Integrity First Home Buyers, that does not have a Facebook page.
Yeah, I know a couple people too.
Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Maybe not Justin. Another dude. But there is a guy, I do know a guy for sure that I don't even think has ever had Facebook.
Yeah.
That just blows me away anymore, because that's just like the number one form, at least for me, of communication and seeing what's going on in the world.
I mean, there's legitimately people out there that don't have cell phones, man. They just still rock the landline house phone and catch me when I'm at home. Otherwise, leave a message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, can you imagine that?
I love that.
My life anymore. I mean, yes, it is awesome. God, like I hate to admit the amount of anxiety I would have if I didn't have a device that I could call anyone at any time. Like, it's just weird. Isn't it weird how we've evolved into that in such a short amount of time?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it was, 20 years ago that shit was not like that.
No. Shit.
Maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say not even, like, think about 10 years ago. So when did Facebook come out?
I mean, smartphones, I was probably
12?
18 to 20, something like that. So 15 to 17 years ago, something like that is when first smart.
I think Facebook came out maybe 2003, 2004. But
Facebook came out. It was originally, you had to be a member of like a college or something like that in order to join it. It was more of a networking tool for college students.
Yeah.
Kind of like a LinkedIn type thing is now, how it's not really a social media. It's actually, let me rephrase that. LinkedIn is the social media, but it's more derived towards connecting people, networking for business purposes. Right.
Yeah. And that was back in the day when MySpace was cool.
Right. Yes. And that was like the original, like, social media.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Where have your cool little music and moving backgrounds and stuff. And
yeah, that was pretty cool though. I won't lie. I wish Facebook would kind of do that sometimes, kind of like bring that feel back, because then, you could like just bring like that mood, that energy, of who that person, like who you are,
Yeah. Everyone used to hate on Tom too. The Facebook guy, everyone used to hate him. And like, I remember that picture that people would always post of him in his little white tee. Everyone would be like, this guy, Tom. And then now we got Mark.
Mm-hmm.
That's
trade Tom for Mark.
Yeah. Don't hate.
I know I can't hate. We're probably gonna get banned.
Yeah.
So I need to Mark.
Mark.
I didn't mean any hate, bro.
Thank you for all your hard work. Brittany just posted MySpace. I remember MySpace.
Yeah.
MySpace was where it was at.
Yeah, that was a short little lived lip. That was cool. For sure. Okay, so what else is going on? Like, so you're going to do Scottsdale. What's after that? What's your next?
So I'm actually tomorrow. I'm actually flying to Vegas. There is a convention that's out there that is in partner with one of the visions that I'm currently working on. It's because it kind of like goes in kind of like helping out like what's out there. But there's so many underprivileged kids that are out there that are just looking for some type of support, some type of direction, that have, like college and stuff. That's just not, they can't even dream of college because it's not really even in their forte or, not only that, but like the younger generation, they're really the ones that have, so many different tools because they've been growing up with a lot of these different technologies. So, Tomorrow I'm going in and trying to solidify a couple more deals and find a new path as far as what we're going to be moving forward with.
Oh, okay. Can you elaborate more on that? What are you moving forward with there?
Yeah, so it's just in little simple things. It's just more or less trying to help out and guide the youth into the more of the construction industry and everything else. Because I mean,
I love
you know,
it.
Yeah.
every day. I mean, like I saw a statistic that 1.2 million people are moving out of the construction industry this year. And so, how is it that we're actually going to be replacing them? It's construction. It's like I love it, man. There's so many awesome, amazing people, and sometimes it just doesn't look as sexy to some of these people. And just trying to like guide some people in the right ways, and like with some of these amazing mentors. I mean, even like some of the people that I look up to. That is just there's so many like amazing people out there that we can point to and try to get them excited.
Yeah. No, we're firm believers in
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
get the younger generation involved in the trades too. We're involved with a program called Workforce Now program, which is, derivative from, influencing students going to high school, trying to encourage them to get into the trades. And like you said, I think for so many years it was drilled into everybody's head, college, college, college. But, there's so many other things. And I think right away, the first thing most people think of is like, you got to go swing a hammer, or you're going to be in a ditch, with a shovel, digging a hole and stuff like that. And there's
Mhm.
so much more to construction
Yes.
than that. Like, that's just, yes, we need the production end of things, but there's so much more, that goes into construction.
Mhm.
There's AutoCAD, there's drawings, there's blueprints, there's, I mean, so many things,
Marketing,
sales,
accounting,
marketing. Yes.
You're like,
Accounting.
oh,
Yeah. The list goes on.
yes.
I mean, you don't, just because you go to Votech, right? My son just is showing interest in, our 14-year-old showed interest in going to Votech. So he went out there and he's checking it out and he wants to do carpentry. And believe me, I did not influence that decision. I'm glad that he wants to do that. Regardless, I don't know what he's going to do after he graduates high school, but I firmly believe that, most men should know how to read a tape measure and swing a hammer and be able to fix things around the house. Right.
Mhm.
So he's definitely has picked a lot of that stuff up for me. Um, but I think he knows, I think he's been around us, all of us, long enough to know that, that you can make a good living in the construction trade. I mean, I
Right.
look at Chris, I think you make a pretty good living.
Mhm.
I look at Vic, I think Vic makes a good living. Chuck, Glenn, I mean,
Yeah.
everyone that works here, I feel makes a better living than I did when I was on the other end of
Absolutely.
this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I guess you got to find the right outfit, and that doesn't mean you can't go to school. And that's the other thing too. We do continuous education here. Like Stacy's interested in some things. I know Sam was going, taking some college courses, and which is great, because you should probably continue your education.
Right.
To be better at numbers, to be educated in certain areas, to help the construction
Right.
field and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's the thing that we try to paint and show the kids. Yes, it's cool to install gutters and bang shingles and do windows.
Mhm.
And there is good money at doing that as well.
Absolutely. And I feel like people are so quick to judge someone by the amount of book smartness they have, or what type of paper they have and a plaque on a wall or whatever. But I don't care what anyone says, man. On-site training and street smarts will get you a lot farther in life than anyone's going to teach you sitting in a classroom.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's just face it. I mean, the basic skills that are required to live your life and survive in this world, you don't learn that shit in school, dude. You don't. You learn that by real life experiences, hardships, successes, and failures is how you learn that.
Big time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you guys are like right along there with me. I mean, I was kind of doing some research on you, so I was actually excited to come on. Especially for that portion that I am working out, because it's actually getting into some of the different some of these different high schools and actually training them on iRoofing. Getting them with like a drone certificate, and with iRoofing you can do your measurements from drone. You can do it from satellite. We have this new technology called Clear Roof, which is seasonal airplane imagery. And then, you can also do it, from blueprints. So, and like when I used to do blueprints by hand, that takes a while, and, with iRoofing, you can do it like real quick. So, just that little teaser. I'm excited to kind of like tell you guys a little bit more like later on, but, it's in the works, and it's something that I'm extremely passionate about because, I love helping out and trying to understand. There's so many kids that are out there that just have so many amazing gifts and things that they can offer to this world that are, they're beaten down, or they're told that they can't do it. And just trying to like understand how we can actually provide and give them like a better life or a better path, rather than going to like McDonald's. And, not that there's anything wrong with McDonald's, but, I want, and like my daughters, they can, they draw a roof out faster than me, and I'm just like thinking like, man, how can we do something with this, and so, I mean, it's kind of like goes along with like my passions, all together. And so, coming out, I mean, I'm going to be coming out, it's going to be coming out swinging and looking for people that can help kind of like, further that vision, because it's not necessarily just, when you talk about construction anymore, it's not just, the construction where you're going out there swinging hammers. You got the office people, you got the marketing people that are doing the videos and the drones and the social media and, the back end. So
the content creators and all that stuff, man, there's so much more to it today. And a lot of interesting stuff too. Right. And when you were talking stats, when you first started to talk about this, the one big stat that we always express to everybody is that, the average tradesman is 55 years old, and it's probably 56 now because we've been saying 55 for 3 years now. And that's pretty scary.
That is, man.
So what's going to happen in the next decade or so? You know what I mean? Which that
I got you covered.
Right. I mean, and we're trying to make a difference and an impact too. And it's like, we did a home show last year and Votech was there and a couple other school districts, and they were building dog houses and sheds and picnic tables. And we must have made such an impression that they wanted, the kids from Votech wanted to come over and see us and wanted to help us set up our stand, our display and stuff like that. Cause we have a pretty nice size display and stuff. And they were super excited. So we gave them things to do as much as we could, to help them. And, we want to encourage the students to get into the trades first and foremost, because I love the trades. I grew up in the trades. I don't know where I would be without the trades. And I really had nowhere else to go. I wasn't the model student, right? I was better with my hands than I was, at arithmetic and reading and writing and things like that. I suffered from all kinds of 3 and 4 letter abbreviated fucking words. And I couldn't sit still, man. I had ants in my pants. And back then they didn't know how to deal with it. I guess, they put you in fucking special ed class and shit.
They still don't, by the way.
Oh, they do?
No, I said they still don't.
I still don't know what to do with that shit.
Yeah, right. I just drink more Red Bull, man. Fuck it.
Right.
So I didn't do well in school, but I was good with my hands. Always good. Or hand-eye coordination. So I skateboarded. I played baseball. Those were like my outlets. Those were my vents. And I did a lot of that, and I did a lot of other things that I shouldn't have did. And when I found the construction industry, fortunately, my grandfather and my dad and all his brothers are excellent, craftsmen. So it's been in my blood for generations to come. Where I'm from, up in the Adirondacks originally, it's a lot of wood, right? Sawmills, carpentry. I grew up around the Adirondack chair, right? Like people built picnic tables, chairs, cabinets, furniture, like really high end things. Ethan Allen is out of, upstate New York, like that's what you did. That's all you do up there. It's very depressed. Either you're the farmer or you work for the farmer, or you're a lumberjack, you own the sawmill, or you work at the sawmill, right? Or you build shit. And that's what my parents grew up around. And so fortunately, I was always good with my hands. My dad is by trade is a mechanical engineer. He designed Grove man lifts and cranes and things like that, furthered his education, graduated from Syracuse University, and then continued his education throughout his career and stuff, and actually wrote OSHA bylaws for aerial lifts and things like that. Very impressive guy. You'd never know it, knowing where we came from and the battles that he fought to get where he was. It's kind of give me goosebumps thinking about the shit that man's gone through, right? To get where he is today. But on the weekends and in the evenings, listen, my friends wouldn't even come over to my house on the weekends because they would get put to work. Like we were building something. We built a bar, we built an apartment, a catering kitchen, a garage with 2 apartments. I mean, every weekend was just, my dad was like the weekend warrior. My mom would every now and then let me sneak off to my friend's house for the weekend so I wouldn't get put to work and stuff. And I resented my dad back in those days, but God bless. Thank God he did that for me. And he's still kicking. I think he's 77 now. And that dude, I'm telling you, you would never know that he was, not that 77's that old, but and the older I get, the more I'm thinking 77's not that old. That's fucking old as shit, bro. But not really. But he's a beast. For sure. But anyhow, I really didn't have anywhere else to go. And I know there's a lot of kids out there that have to be in the same boat as me, right? That feel like they're probably not that smart. And like Chris, you touched on it earlier, right? Like, so, to be book smart's one thing, right? Okay, I can read a book and retain shit and blah, 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 blah. But common sense, street smarts and common sense, is has gotten me a lot further in life than, acting like I knew something because I read something.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah. Street smarts, you gotta love it, man. It's a hard thing to like pick up for some people, and it's so much easier for others. At the end of the day, when you have somebody, street smarts or book smarts, I'd way rather hire somebody with street smarts than over book smarts.
For real,
absolutely.
That's where you get your common sense too, man. You know what I mean? They don't teach common sense and that kind of stuff in school.
Wait, what is common sense?
It's uncommon sense. No, uncommon sense.
Survival skills.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I'm not by any means bashing education. I mean, you need to go to school. You need to educate. And to be honest with you, as somebody that in some instances is partakes in hiring here, I'm not going to frown on a college education. I mean, the fact that somebody has a college degree, it doesn't matter what it's in. It shows that they have commitment. They can start something and finish it. You know what I mean? So I don't care if you got a degree in health science or whatever it is, but just the fact that you were able to commit to something, a long-term something that is hard. I mean, I went to college. I know how hard it is. I would have never succeeded in college if I would have went straight out of high school. I promise you that. Right. I went when I was 30 because I felt like I had to. I was an old guy in the classroom with a bunch of kids. And, I was the one that was annoyed because people were fucking around and I'm trying to pay attention. I got full-time work and a dad and going to college full-time. Like I understand the grind. So like I can appreciate that. And I would be more prone to look farther at somebody that has a college education, not even necessarily what that education is in.
Yeah. Just
the simple fact that you committed to this and you did it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and look, I mean, it's something that is definitely that will help you out in your life and in your career and everything else. And it's just sometimes you have these people that just aren't able to quite ready to commit, like you were saying, like in the 30s is when you finally got back into it. And a lot of times too is that they just don't have the option.
Right, very true.
It's like for them to actually go to school sometimes is like, like even just to graduate high school is like a huge feat, and so, it's definitely something that I feel that like everyone has got to constantly educate themselves. They got to keep growing. Yes. They can't ever stop, whatever that is. But that's kind of like the point. I'm I'm excited to kind of get on the phone with you guys after this as well, kind of like tell you guys what I got going on, because I can't really explain everything in detail in front of everybody, but it's pretty exciting. And I think that you guys will like it. So excited to kind of like figure out, different ways and stuff that, it's always looking for like other people. And, like I said, I mean, if it wasn't for like my great team over at iRoofing, I wouldn't really be able to, put all this together. So, huge shout out to like Joseph, Jasmine, and Jason, and then, my other guys as well that really hold down the team when I'm away trying to, chase these things and trying to develop this portion of it. And so, just want to make sure that they know that how much I appreciate them for what they do. So,
amen.
Awesome.
Amen, man.
Awesome. Takes a village, man.
Team is everything, brother.
Absolutely.
Yep. It's who you surround yourself around, man.
You're only as good as your weakest link.
Right.
For sure.
And sometimes you just, you got to keep pushing and trying to push that weakest link to be better,
Absolutely.
because, you see something in them and you just believe in them to the extreme, it's, and it's, like, I think, Adam Benson, I think it was, he was talking about like leading the horse to, like having the like leading the horse to water, and then like kind of coursing him into drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was on your guys' show, and I was like, man, that's awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was
a good episode. Benson was a good episode.
I watched that. I was like, man, that is amazing. He's an awesome guy, man. I love some of the different things that he's talks about and stuff. So
yeah, he's definitely one of the beacons in the industry for sure.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, so that's awesome, man. I'm excited to hear what you have going on, man. We're definitely passionate about the kids in the trades.
Yes. We actually have a lot of kids that work for us, and I call them kids. What's funny, and I say this quite often, is that I was the youngest one here at one point in time, and now I'm becoming one of the older ones. So everyone's a kid now, but like Sam and them, they're 22 years old. Sam and Mason's like 17, 18 years old. Lonnie,
Mason, I think, just turned 19. Lonnie's young. Yeah. Chayton.
Yeah, Chayton. Shit, he's barely.
I don't even know if he's 18, dude.
Yeah. So we've been able to attract that younger generation, and let's talk about Horizon, right? So we also have a landscaping thing that we do, and Corey now, he's the old head, he's 40-year-old, but other than him, Mendez just turned 21, I think, and then everyone below him is 20, 19, 17, 16.
Poor Corey, man.
some of the hardest working kids that I've ever met and have been consistently. I mean, Mendez has been here for 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
Barely probably even old enough to drive when he started. I think he was probably 16 or 17 when he started here.
Yeah, I don't know. But I know that at one point in time, all these kids down here that were running this thing were not old enough to drink.
Yeah. Right. So we've been real fortunate, and we try to attract that. This is, and that work ethic too. You know what I mean? It's hard to come by anymore because it has become, a digital world, and I think a lot of people, and this is the other thing too. I think a lot of people wrote off, the Gen Zs and the millennials too, when there's so much potential there. And I think what you're kind of alluding to is, the digital aspect of the construction industry. To be able to maximize, the students today and the intelligence that they've been brought up in. When we were in school, there was one computer that the entire, 7th grade class, and there's probably 5 classes, right? In 5th grade or whatever grade I was in elementary school, we shared the entire school, I think, shared the computer.
Yeah.
And we played Oregon Trail.
Yep.
I love Oregon Trail, and also some fun.
Right.
Yeah,
there you go. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
today it's so different today. And no, I love it. The kids are smart, and we definitely haven't wrote them off, even though I might grumble a little bit.
Yeah.
And bitch, they're stinking. But really it just comes down to is that they're just kids.
They're just kids. And not only that, Ty, they're motivated by different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then it's different than, someone like myself or like you. I feel like the people in that range, the 18 to 25 year olds right now, they're not necessarily motivated by money, man. Like they would much rather, and I think this goes true for more of us as we go through life now, we're absorbing this kind of thought process too. It's like, these guys want gratification in other ways than financially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They care about different kinds of things. and we talk about this all the time in like in the housing market too, and what we deal with new construction, and like how much that has changed, how many multifamily homes they're building now instead of single family homes, because that's just
HOAs.
that's just what people want. They don't want to cut the grass. They don't want to have to worry about any of that shit. They want to pay someone to do it and be done with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, understanding that and figuring out as a lead person, a leader, a manager, being able to understand the person that you're dealing with and what motivates them and what drives them. I mean, that's super important today.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to get your success out of those young kids for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's even a study that goes like just right along with what you said. It's just they're the younger generations that it's they're looking for more of like more of someone that they can like grow with, or like have like different accomplishments that you believe in them, more so than some of the different opportunities. So
yeah.
I'm trying to remember where I read that study, but I just read that the other day. And so, but yeah, no, that's awesome. There's so many different pathways and stuff that you can actually go down. And I'm excited to kind of like share some of those things with you guys as well, because, this new journey that I'm heading down, it's super exciting. So, I'm looking forward to get with you guys after this as well, just to kind of like, show you guys a little bit where my head's at.
Yeah, right on.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And I guess this is a great way to probably, call it an evening. And we're at our 1 hour mark.
Yeah, we're at our 1 hour mark. Before we roll, I'm going to hit you with the question, man. We ask everyone this question at the end. If you were doing your research, like you said you were, you're going to know what this question is already. But I think we kind of already touched into this a little bit, but we'll see. So being a successful leader of your team and everything, how like what motivates you to not only suit up and show up every day, but to perform at a high level for your team and for everyone around you? Like, what is that motivating factor? What drives you?
Belief.
Okay.
And the reason I say belief is because, when I bring people on, or like, even the people I deal with on a regular basis, it's my belief in them that they can be better. And, you got to kind of like lead by the example, and just, first having that belief, even like the belief in God that will actually lead you down that path, or, whatever it might be. I mean, it's belief of like knowing that better, that there's better to come, or that there's belief more in like other people as well, that they're not quite showing, and maybe they just need that simple person that needs to believe in them, that needs to feel that, it needs to radiate, because there's a lot of people, they don't have somebody that has that support system, that like they're like, hey, look, I believe in you, I'm going to be here for you type thing. And sometimes it's just, you need to like, install sometimes that like belief and like that passion, that you're willing to go all out and fight for them and put yourself on that line. And you're going to be the first one that goes to battle for them. And, just having that belief actually will like drive you to do more, so that's my whole thing, is I just, like, I know that I believe that there's more out there than what I'm just, accomplishing right now. I think that, it's a great platform out there, and, belief is definitely something that I love.
That's awesome, man. It's great
Yeah.
that you found your
Very
purpose, bro. Yeah. Good stuff. So that concludes our episode 153.
Episode 153. Guys, if you guys have not done so already, and I know a lot of you guys have not done so, because it hasn't changed. I'm sure you guys got to be getting tired of me saying this by now. But Behind the Toolbelt YouTube page, make sure you guys hop over there and hit that red subscribe button. It's very, very important. You should just go do it right now. It'll only take 2 seconds.
Yeah, we're not getting
Behind the Toolbelt. Yes.
Yeah. And to be honest, I like, after watching like a lot of the different ones, the episodes, I can't actually wait to like actually go on and watch like a lot of the different people that you've had on, because you guys have had just amazing people on, and like just like the knowledge that they're sharing. Like, and I want to thank you guys as well for allowing me to come on. I don't even hold like a torch to, some of these guys that you had before. So I appreciate it. So thank you so much.
You did great. And we were super excited to have you on, because we view you as one of the bigger players in the industry, and it's an honor to have you come on our show and want to come on our show and be excited to come on our show, because, we started out doing this just to try to get a fundraiser for Workforce Now, right?
Yeah, that's literally what this started by.
and it's just kind of came to fruition in like a, hopefully an industry staple, where we can get awesome people like you on here to share your experience, strength, and hope with our viewers and stuff like that. And for us to build a relationship and stay in touch with each other and run into each other at shows. And we definitely want you to come back on. And I look forward to running into you somewhere this winter, I guess.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I might have to run out to. I keep promising Jen Silver I'm going to go to our show. It's just every time that she has her show, it's always when I have my girls. And if you guys know me, like, my girls are my everything. So
yeah,
it's just being a single dad and having like 1 week on, 1 week off. Sometimes it's hard to kind of like balance that.
Bring them.
Yeah, you got to handle that.
Bring them with you, bro.
If they don't have school, I do.
Right.
There's got to be something educational you can do, and
right.
Field trip.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love Salt Lake. So, especially snowboarding and everything else. I mean, it's beautiful up there. Once you go up like the canyons, and, during the summertime, you can like over in like Provo Canyon, there's like a whole little sidewalk that I used to like longboard down and like just start cruising and going so fast, like in and out. It's amazing through there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait to see
That's
all that.
cool, man.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Well,
Cool.
You guys have a
Appreciate
great
you
day.
guys.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Wednesday for episode 154. We're going to get over that 55 hump here in the next 6 weeks.
Nice. Appreciate you guys again. Thanks so much.
Yep. See you guys.